Okay, all this is part two to all the Rolla towers updated. So yeah, I didn't want the video to be like an hour long explaining everything and all that stuff because there's like a lot of information packed into most of these towers down in Rolla. Because a lot of changes, modifications in the antennas and platforms and all that stuff, and beacons. So yeah, if I made it, if I did all that in one video or showed all towers in one video and talked about them and crap, I would have. Well, I mean, the video would have definitely been a very. It would have been like an hour or something long, or very close to it. I'm surprised I didn't add the Walmart tower into part one. I probably should have made that one the last one of part one, but I wasn't thinking about that, so I'm going to make it the first one of part two, since this here is my favorite tower. This is the almighty Walmart tower. It's the first one out of four as well. You got this one, the first Walmart tower, the original Walmart tower in Rolla, Missouri. You got the second one in Springfield, Missouri. You got the third one in Branson, Missouri. And then you got the fourth one in Ozark, Missouri. So yeah, only one is close to me. The other three are around the Springfield area. Alright, well, you guys should already know everything about this tower, so I'm going to breeze through it. This tower was built in 2002. It was built with only one platform. That top platform that you're able to see right now it used to be the only platform on the tower. I'm not too sure when the tower gained its other two antennas, and I don't know when this appeared, but it was like somewhere in the 2000s. I like to believe that these other two antennas, these other two platforms appeared. I like to think that they appeared like somewhere after it was built, because that's how I want the the way it looks now, or at least in this street view, because it doesn't look like this anymore. There's like one small noticeable change on the top that we'll get into later, but the way it looks now is it should be one of those things that would have lasted a long time, or would have been around for like the beginning of its life. So that's why I like to believe that those two antenna platforms were installed on the tower in like at least a year after it was built. So yeah, it was, I believe it was built with the FH309, but the tower used to have an FH309. It only shined red, and it flashed like an incandescent, even though it was a halogen beacon. But halogen bulbs and incandescent bulbs are kind of like the same thing. So FH309 halogen beacons fall into the same category as incandescent beacons. So yeah, that's like the third type of incandescent beacon, the halogen beacon. So yeah, but it's even worse than the actual incandescent bulb, because they take up more electricity. But the FH309 on this tower lasted a long time for some reason. Like today, it's for some reason in my area, a tower that has a very rare beacon, they usually always get replaced, like very soon and all that crap. Like their rare beacons don't usually tend to last that long. But the Walmart Tower's FH309 lasted a long time, and the second Walmart Tower's FH306 lasted a long time too. Like like way after the Walmart Tower got its FH309 replaced, the other one still had its FH306 until it was inevitably replaced too. Yeah, but for some reason, if there's a tower that has a rare beacon in Missouri, they usually don't last. The beacons, at least, not the towers. Just the beacons don't last. They just don't. I don't know why. It's very crappy. I wish my area was just like Florida when it comes to beacon variety. Florida has a lot of strobe and incandescent beacon setups. They have fading LEDs, well, more TWR fading LEDs than a lot of other places. They just have a gigantic majority of different beacons here and there, like different beacon setups and all that crap, like the strobe and the separate strobe and the separate. It's basically the strobe and incandescent beacon setup, but instead of an incandescent, there's always there's a night mode only LED above the single strobe or below it sometimes, most occasions. But you know what I mean. So yeah, it's just I wish Missouri was like Florida when it came to beacons and all that crap. So yeah, but we're not really like that. The main beacon of Missouri, I believe, used to be the dual strobe. Right now, it's kind of the modern LED because they're popping up everywhere. Not just in Missouri, they're just popping up left and right every state, you know. But Ohio barely have. Ohio is an exception though. Like they don't. The Ohio doesn't have much towers with modern LEDs. Wise Aiden said that his area is going through an LED phase just like my area, but instead of modern LEDs popping up left and right, it's basically crappy LEDs popping up left and right. So yeah, he got the bad end of this massacre. So yeah, the Walmart tower used to have an FH309. I remember it and stuff. It was very memorable, all that. And then all of a sudden in 2016, I believe it's 2016 when this happened, but it got its FH309 replaced with a mysterious night mode only LED beacon. I don't really know the name of it. I think Eric Pape is the only person who knows the name of it because he told me once, but I don't remember what it was. But it basically has an L with with three numbers basically. You know how like I'm pretty sure every beacon has like an L and three numbers at the end. You know, just for some reason they just all have those names and stuff like secondary names. But I don't know what its name is, but I like to call it the Walmart LED because the first time I seen this LED was on this tower, which is some Walmart tower. So yeah, that's why I call it the Walmart LED. I did hear somebody on Discord also called it the Walmart Tower LED. I don't remember who that was. It was probably Aiden, but or Ryan C. I don't know. So yeah, there's that. It's markers though. I noticed like before God's LED and after God's LED, there's no change really. I'm not able to notice a change. Like they just look the same. They're probably the same markers that the FH308 the FH309 used. I believe at least. You know what? Sometimes I wish the second Walmart tower was actually right next to this one here. Imagine that. That would be so cool. Okay, so I'm just going to go over this one quickly, but if you guys didn't see the latest video that was the latest actual video, not screen recorded, you know, like I revealed that this tower sadly died because it was sadly taken down because of the building the building that it used to stand on is abandoned. It's been abandoned for years. It's rotting away. So yeah, all these bought the property and you already know they aren't going to use the building. Like, the building's been sitting here abandoned this entire time. They're not going to use it. Like, hell no. They ain't going to use it anytime soon. So they hired a bunch of people to just slowly take the building down. Like, they busted out the windows and made big openings and stuff, and they cleared out the inside. I don't know why they do that. I would imagine them just wrecking that crap up, but for some reason they just do that. Like, you see this building here? Well, it's finally being dismantled. Well, I mean, it's finally being taken down and destroyed. When I first seen it getting dismantled and all that crap, I would imagine I was just like, if it are they getting rid of the building now? Like, I would imagine them like completely wrecking that with no second thought. Like, that's what people usually do, right? Well, they removed all this crap here. They exposed the metal bars that were holding up this and all that. And then they had a big crane that took all that metal off, and now they're in the process of busting down the walls left and right. So yeah, it's kind of weird. Like, I would imagine them just destroying the entire thing just on the spot. It's weird. I have a feeling that this building here, once they take it down and stuff, they're going to do the same. They're going to do it in the same style. So yeah, they removed the like most of the front, like all the windows and doors you see up to this point is all gone. All that's left is these pillars and stuff, and yeah, and the inside's cleared out too. I have no idea why. It's just a weird way of dismantling. Like, why are you dismantling a building instead of like just completely destroying it just like that? Like, yeah. So yeah, the tower, it stood for a while before they finally took care of it. I don't know how they cut it. I don't know if they cut it down, or I don't know how they did it. Like, either they cut down one of the guy wires, either that, or they took the tower down with a crane, piece by piece. That's usually how towers are. Well, actually, the majority of towers that fall and stuff, usually they're guy wires, or even if they're lattice or freestanding, they're always just knocked down. They're not taken apart piece by piece. They're just knocked down. So yeah, it must have happened today when I was at school, because I didn't get to witness this tower's death. So yeah, you know what? I remember I took a picture of the tower from Sonic, because we got our Mixonic. What? All right. Our local Sonic moved buildings because of the land. The land was like caving in, and I don't know. It's just something weird. Like, no, I remember now. The old Sonic building was kind of sliding and stuff for some reason, so they had to move and build a new Sonic. I went there and I took a picture of the tower, because at this time I know that the tower is going to die, because I found out, well, my dad told me that Aldi's bought this land to build a new Aldi's building. I don't know why they're doing that. I'd rather have them keep the old Aldi's building, which is somewhere down there. So yeah, this tower was beaconless for all I know. And I don't think it ever had markers either. So it never had lighting in its life. So I believe, at least. Maybe it had like a pair of... No. If a tower has markers that used to work and stuff but don't work anymore, usually the markers are left on the tower to just sit there forever and ever and ever and ever until the tower is inevitably taken down. I don't know why they do that, but I'm kind of happy they do. But at the same time, it's kind of painful seeing a good pair of markers on a small tower like this, and you already know that the markers are just sitting up there not working. Like they shut them off. Um, so yeah, unless if it's a rare case where they shut them off and remove them, but I don't believe I don't think that's I don't think they did that. So this tower never had any lighting system. So yeah, there's that. Rest in peace, tower. This is the sixth Rolla tower to die in Rolla. Got like five more. You should probably already know the other five. Like the old highway patrol tower destroyed by high winds. Um, the third Lowe's tower just taken down by a crane. Probably a cookie cutter. A cookie cutter probably replaced the antennas on top of it that made it useful. So after its use has ran out and stuff because of that, they just took it down because it's not being used. It's just abandoned or something. You know what I mean. So they just took it down, but I'm not too sure why they did. Third tower to die was there used to be a windmill, just a small little windmill at the highway patrol. And then I noticed when there's one time where me, my dad, and sister were dropping off my mom at the hospital for work, and then we would go to school. But there's one time where I noticed that no, wait, no, this was actually after school. We were picking up my mom from work, so yeah. But I noticed there was something missing, and then I remember there being a windmill, and I noticed that there's no windmill there anymore. So I'm just like, oh, what, did they take the windmill down? I didn't know what happened to the windmill, but eventually, when I tried to search up videos of the old highway patrol tower and stuff, and just the tower itself being taken down after the storm, I found a picture of the windmill, and basically it met the same fate as the old highway patrol tower. It was blown over by strong winds. Just one normal night, some strong winds just blew over. It just destroyed the tower. It landed on the highway. It closed the highway for a little bit. So yeah. The fourth and fifth towers to die were the S&T smokestacks. They had big cracks and stuff, and they were vulnerable to wind. So yeah, it's just they were taken down piece by they were like broken up piece by piece and all that crap. So yeah, all right. So there's this tower. Rest in peace. All right, now we got my least favorite Rolla tower. This here is the newest. This here's the newest tower to Rolla, and it was built in 2013. Yep, we haven't had a new tower in ages. It felt like, at least. So yeah, this is the newest Rolla tower. I do remember when it was built. I was excited. No, I didn't care if it was a small little monopole. I was just like, holy crap, a new tower. I think it's cool that we're getting a new tower and stuff. At the time I didn't really care if it had a beacon or if it was just small and stuff. Like I was just like, holy crap, new tower. New towers are awesome. But now it's became my least favorite tower, really, because I wouldn't. I bet you guys would imagine my least favorite tower in Rolla being that one plain-looking monopole in downtown Rolla, but no. That one has a little bit of nostalgia to it. This one really only has like a tiny, tiny bit. But the other one has a little more because it's close to the post office, and me and my mom used to go to the post office every night for some reason. What am I talking about? I know a reason. It's because of I don't know the exact reason, but we delivering stuff, I guess, like selling stuff on eBay. I bet like we used to go to the post office every night, so I would see that tower and stuff. That's all the nostalgia that the tower holds. The only nostalgia this tower holds is the moment when I found out it was actually new and stuff. Like when I seen it, it was mostly completed. Like it didn't have its cell antennas yet, but it was there, It had its platform and everything, just it didn't have antennas. So yeah, there's that. It's pretty boring, to be honest. Okay, so we're just going to look at the less known towers, and well, not less known towers, but because the Walmart tower was the first, and everybody should like a lot of people should know the Walmart tower by now because of the channel and stuff, because I make videos of it, you know. So a lot of people should know it. But other than that, all other than that, the towers I've been showing were lesser known towers. We got this little antenna tower here, which I think it's worthy enough to be in the video because of how cool it looks. It's a cluster antenna tower. It's a yeah. I think that's why I call it. I call it the cluster antenna tower. The thing that really makes it special is the T top on it. It reminds me of a T top candelabra, but it's not. I don't call it a candelabra. But yeah, and then there's other things like those dishes and crap that cover it, and you know, yeah, it would be so much better if there were markers on the tower, like just markers. That would just make that would just improve the downtown feel down here, like old building with a little antenna tower with markers. That would be so cool. You know, that's like downtown, like smaller city downtown. Basically, you can call it that. But it doesn't have any lighting system, and it probably will. It probably won't ever get any lighting on it. So yeah, it's just there. It's when it comes to little antenna towers like this, they had like a. For some reason, every time I think about them, I think about when they're taken down and stuff. Like you know, they're not really that noticeable, and no tower enthusiast really cares for them. But eventually, after like years of ignoring them, you notice that they disappear because they're gone. They're just gone. Yeah, like I have a feeling that that's going to happen to this tower soon because that's how it all works here for some reason. So yeah, there's that. Okay, so this here is the next one. This one is it's right behind the building that the Pizza Inn in Rolla used to be at. So yeah, this here is it's like Sunny 104.5. I think that's what I think the radio station yeah, I think Sunny 104.5 owns this tower. So yeah, it's if it was like a normal gray antenna tower, it wouldn't be too special. But for some reason, this here is an all red tower. It's been like that forever. This here is the very first all red tower I've seen in Rolla. Sadly, it doesn't have any beacon. If it had a beacon, I would want it to have like a modern incandescent. But yeah, modern incandescent with two sets of side markers. I think that would be pretty cool to see, because seeing a lot of lighting on a small tower, especially this size, would be very, very cool. I don't know why. I just think it will be. I just imagine it right now, just seeing it at a distance at night, and then looking at it at the same distance that day, and just like, wow, that's the same tower that had all them lights. Like that'd be so cool, man. That'd be really cool. I wish, well, you know, I wish it had markers at least, but it doesn't. It sucks how the first ever all red tower that I've ever seen in my life has no lighting whatsoever. It's just too small, I guess, you know. Well, it's obvious why, because it's small. So yeah, there's that. Okay, so we got the new Highway Patrol tower that was built in 2011. It was I think I'm forgetting something. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. I think that the all red tower that's close to McDonald's, it's just right down there somewhere. It was built in like 2010, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, or maybe not. I think it was like 2010. maybe 2009, but I remember seeing Street View of 2009 Street View there, or some sort of old crappy Street View, and it didn't exist then. And then I went to 2011 Street View, and it existed. So either 2010 or 11. Oh man, I hate this Street View. Like, why make Street View when it's rainy and foggy? Like, seriously, you can't see towers at this point, you know? So, yeah, this tower went through two modifications. So, it was built in 2011. I remember my excitement for this tower. All my life, I always known this. I always known this area for the hospital and the old highway patrol tower, and that windmill too. The dead windmill that you're seeing right now, basically. But you know what I mean. That those are like the only few things that I known of in this area. Uh, I grown used to the old highway patrol tower because that's what you do when you see it for a long time. So I've seen it as an everyday normal thing, you know. And then all of a sudden, somewhere around like September or October, this new one was built. September. What? No, it's September. No, it's why am I? It is September. Like, why am I thinking it's pronounced a different way? I don't know. It's just weird. But either September or October 2011, this tower was built right next to the old one, and I was very very happy. I was just like, holy crap, a new tower! Like the first time I ever seen this was either we were dropping my mom off at her work at the hospital for work, or we were driving on the highway. But I remember there's a crane, and there was like the bottom of the tower. Basically, it's legs and crap. You know, that's what existed then. I was like, holy crap, a new tower's being built. I can't wait to see it. Like a day or two later, the tower was complete. I remember it having a beacon. Well, it has a beacon. What am I talking about? I remember um, being at the hospital parking lot, and I looked at the tower, and I noticed how it had a dual strobe. I was just like, holy crap, it has one of those beacons. Oh, that's very cool. But you know, I wasn't the most excited because I already known that those were everywhere. I probably would have been more excited if I known that this dual strobe on the tower was different from the other dual strobes I would usually see and stuff. Like the majority of dual strobes down here in Missouri are the FH324s. If I known that this here was a different beacon, well, a different dual strobe like the 3000B, I probably would have been more excited. But I didn't start to study things about the tower. So yeah, well, I didn't study a lot of beacon names and stuff. I didn't know. I didn't feel like learning all that crap at the time because I didn't know how to. I don't think I known about YouTube at the time either. So yeah, I didn't watch YouTube back then. I think I started watching YouTube in 2014 or 15. Yeah, I think late 2014 maybe. I don't know. But yeah, I remember the tower. For some reason, it's the 3000B on the tower did not flash for like the first week or something. I don't know. I remember it not flashing for like a hell of a long time, or it felt like a long time since I was little back then. But I remember I waited patiently, but that patience started to turn into impatience because I wanted to see it blink so badly. I was just like, when will it work? When will it work? Please, I want it to work. Please, you know. I was just like, just blink, turn the beacon on. Why is it not on? Like that, yeah. For some reason, it didn't blink for the first few days. It just sat there, up there. So yeah, and then all of a sudden, one day, it was a Monday, so my dad picked me and my sister up from school. So yeah, me and my sister were picked up from elementary school on a Monday because my dad was there. We're on our way to the hospital to pick up my mom, and you know, when you at the Walmart area, you know where the Walmart tower is. When you pass the Walmart tower, you're able to see you're able to see the highway patrol tower. So I saw both of them, and then all of a sudden I seen it flash. I was just like, holy crap, its beacon's flashing now. Yes, yes, it's flashing. And then the first time I saw it on night mode, I did notice that the beacon was not a normal dual strobe because of its night mode. I was just like, oh, it's a different dual strobe. I see. It's not one of the others that I know of. The tower has one set of markers because, yeah, I mean, like, it's obvious why, because it has a strobe. I don't know a single tower that has a dual strobe with two sets of markers, other than the ones that have two sets of dual strobes and stuff. But you know what I mean, like a tower that has one dual strobe with two sets of working markers. Never seen it before. Now I don't think I ever will. So yeah, they just don't come with two sets of dual strobes, sadly. I wish some of them did, but they don't. They just don't, sadly. Its first modification was the addition of those four microwave horns and stuff. I don't know when that happened, but I think it was like 2012 or something. But I remember that. I was like, "Oh wow, the tower looks a little cooler now." I already thought the tower was pretty cool, but the addition of these were a cool upgrade. Like it made the tower look cooler. So yeah, that was a good modification. And just recently it underwent its second modification. I guess they were swapping out these two antennas, I think, because I noticed there's a third antenna that stuck out wider away from the tower. I remember me and my sister were picked up from high school um like Wednesday, so yeah, yesterday, and I saw people climbing it. Well, no, I had my glasses and stuff, and I seen something that was like covering the tower a little bit. Like it was it's something very noticeable, and I was able to see the people climbing the tower too. Eventually, when we got to the McDonald's drive through, I could easily see it. I noticed a different looking antenna. It was sticking out of the tower, farther out the tower, unlike the other two you're able to see now. So yeah, that's its second modification. I remember showing my Discord friends, and Aiden was just like, I hope it doesn't get an LED. Well, right now it still has its dual strobe. It still has its 3000 beats, so yeah, it's fine. So yeah, there it is in its 3000B. When it gets an LED, I hope it's a strobish LED, because that'll be cool for this tower. I hope it's not a normal modern incandescent, like one of the most overused beacons in Missouri right now. So yeah, I hope it doesn't get that beacon when it gets an LED. Like the only two beacons I'll allow this tower to have is either a strobish LED or an HP Horizon without flashing sign markers. I don't want that. No flashing sign markers. And if it gets a modern LED or a crappy LED, it's destined to get the flashing sign markers. All right, now it's time for this one. Oh wait, no, it's time for the old Highway Patrol Tower, because that comes in next. That should, because that's one of the main well, it used to be one of the main towers, but it kind of still is. But even if it's dead, it's still kind of a main tower, I guess you can say. Here's old street view of it. As you can see, it's pretty crappy. just very crappy street view. So yeah, the old the old highway patrol tower. It used to have. You guys probably already know this most likely, but it had old school incandescent beacon up there, and it had two sets of side markers. So yeah, that's what it looked like at night. I remember the tower was one of those things I would see every day, so it was a normal thing to see. But at night, I would always notice a tower that had three lights, or it like back then I didn't care if if the side markers were like three or two separate little lights. I always called them one light for some reason. But I was just like, I wonder what tower that is. Like, I wish I known. Like, I want to see it at day and stuff. I have no idea what tower that is. Well, now, guess what? That it was like that for a while back then when I was little. And then eventually it was like I think the sun was setting, or either it was stormy, but I seen the tower and its incandescent and markers were lit up and stuff, and you're perfectly able to see it. So it's like, holy crap, there it is. So yeah, I bet the tower went through like a little, like a few modifications here and there, but the tower is much older than the tower was much older than me and stuff. Like, it was around for a long time. I don't know when it was built, but I would guess the 70s or something. I don't know, but yeah. The only modification I know of is the antenna there was removed. So there's that. Now we are in the good old newer street view. This is back when the other tower was built. So there's the old highway patrol tower. You're able to see it was red and white and stuff. Um, it was four-legged, which was like one of the most special things about the tower. One of the specialist things I meant to say, like, yeah, one of the specialist things about the tower was the fact that it was four-legged. So yeah, the beacon and markers worked for a long time. I don't remember there being any malfunction or anything. And then the newer 2011 Highway Patrol Tower was built and stuff. And I remember at day that the new one was the only one that blinked because it had a white and red beacon. So yeah, they both look cool at day. I liked how there was a tower that was right next to it that constantly blinked 24/7, two different colors too and stuff. I like that because it just made it feel more special. Like the old Highway Patrol Tower, it's incandescent even if it flashed at day, which I don't know if it did or not, but if it did, it was not noticeable. But I'm pretty sure it didn't flash at day. But when it comes to old incandescent beacons like this, it can yeah, old school incandescent beacons can malfunction to flash at day and night. But yeah, I remember there's a church here. Like, there's a church down there. So we would usually go there, like every Sunday or something. So I would always see the two tower, originally the one tower, but now the two towers, and then the one tower again. I always see them up close, and I never noticed the old school incandescent on the other tower flashing. So yeah, there's that. So yeah, you know what? It was a very, very, very cool sight to see both towers lit up at night. Like, it was so cool how one tower had one flashing beacon with two sets of markers, and the other one had one flashing beacon with one set of markers. Like, it's a pretty cool. It was pretty cool looking, but that barely lasted. I think that only lasted a little bit in 2011, and then all of a sudden the beacon and markers on the old highway patrol tower were completely shut off. The reason why is because there's another tower next to it. So yeah, They rather have the beacon on the new tower flash and the other one just be left in the dark and stuff forever. That severely pissed me off. I remember like if I was able to change Street View and stuff, you would definitely notice how the old Highway Patrol tower is just a few feet taller than the new one. It's bullsh. They should have both been flashing forever and ever until the other tower just inevitably died. It's yeah, the old one. You know, I mean, like yeah, they should have been. It should have been like that, but for the rest of its life, it's set in the dark. The beacon never flashed again. The first set of markers never lit up again. The second set of markers, though, I remember there's one night, just one night. I was either at the hospital at night for something, or for some reason, or on the highway, and I remember I seen one of the markers on the one of the bottom set of markers were on. Like it was just one little light. That's all I remember. Like it just like that was the last time I ever got to see the lighting on on the old Highway Patrol tower work. Like it was weird. Like it's like that one little bulb just appeared to it just it just randomly turned on for some reason. Yeah, I don't know why. Next time I go to the highway patrol, I'll ask more questions. Well, I'll ask if they purposely shut off the beacon and markers off the old tower because the new tower was next to it, and they had a what FA would say a better lighting system than the other one. So yeah, um, they probably won't know, but they did answer a very 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 important question that actually changed the way I see these two towers and stuff. Like when the tower, so yeah, well, in 2014, the old Highway Patrol tower was blown over by wind, and I always thought that well, I remember I was on the highway or at the hospital or I think it was at the highway, and the top half of the tower was completely gone, and there's a crane that was removing the rest of the tower piece by piece. I remember being so disappointed, and then being pretty mad that I was pretty mad because after that moment I thought the new Highway Patrol tower was actually built to replace the old one. So for like a few years, I was just like, man, I don't hate the tower, but I don't like how it replaced the other tower. The other tower was so cool, and I just miss it. It's just so nice to see at day and night. It was just a cool tower. I miss it, man. I wish it was never replaced. And then, like either January or February, I don't remember, but me and my dad around like from January 2020 to like May 2020 we went door dashing and stuff. Yeah, me and my dad went door dashing just for extra money. Okay, I don't know why that's there. Like I don't watch live streams. Unless if they're for my friends, but I don't watch live streams really. So me and my dad went door dashing left and right for extra money. Like I remember every night we would go out and we would just go door dashing left and right, and it was very memorable because that was the beginning of the COVID-19 shit. I remember it gave a little bit of a different feeling. Like it was kind of fun. Back then, like when COVID first appeared. Yeah, and it was like it was winter too, so it was dark, it was cold, there was snow and ice everywhere most of the time. Well, actually, well, I think most of the time the snow was actually gone. Maybe I think, but that was a staple of that stuff, you know. So yeah, um, eventually, like January or February, after like a few door dashes, we got a door dash to no other than the Highway Patrol station. So we'd like delivered McDonald's or something down to the Highway Patrol, and while there, my dad got another dash, and so we were kind of in a hurry. My dad was like, "Come on, Landon, we need to go now." But I had one question to ask. I was just like, did you like why did you guys have to replace the old highway patrol tower? Like, did you guys replace it or did something happen to it? And then the lady down there was just like, which one are you talking about? You talking about the one that's standing right now, or the other one that just fell due to a storm? And then once she said that, I was just like, what? It wasn't that on the new tower's not a replacement. That it just the old tower just fell over by a storm, and yeah, the lady was just like, oh yeah, the top half of the tower was blown over by wind, um, and she was laughing it off like she was just like, thank God it didn't damage any car when it landed on when it landed on the parking lot, you know. um, I was just like, holy crap. And it completely changed the way I see these two towers and stuff. Like, I see the old Highway Patrol tower as a memorable tower taken away by a storm, and I see the new one as the like, oh, it's not a replacement. It's just there as a new main tower. So I was just like, so if you weren't looking to replace the old Highway Patrol tower, then what was the new one for? Like, why do you build a new one if you already had a other one? That you had the other one there. The lady said, "Oh, I think I remember her saying this, but I'm not too sure. But um, I'm pretty sure the lady said the new highway patrol tower was built to serve as the main one, while the old one was used as a backup. I'm pretty sure that's what she said. Maybe I don't know." So I got eventually. Then I was just like, you know what? I should have known that that was not a replacement, because if it was a replacement, it would have been taken down right after the new tower was built and stuff in 2011. But no, it died in 2014. It was taken down in 2014. And all that, like, that's when it just died. It just got destroyed then. I was just like, if it was a replacement, it would have just been taken down immediately after the other one was built. So, yeah, I was relieved to know that, because I didn't have to have like a little bit of hatred towards the new Highway Patrol tower. So yeah, there's that. I'm going to charge my phone a little bit, so I have to piece this video together, sadly. And it's going to be an hour long. I tried to avoid that, but there's so much to unpack with these two towers. Okay, y'all. I don't know how long it's been since I made the last clip, but I'm pretty sure it was when I was still in school. Yeah, when I was still in school last week. But yeah, I think we left off on the highway patrol towers. I need to check that real fast. So yeah, uh, we did leave. We did leave off on this tower, the newer highway patrol tower, or maybe no, we were. I mean, I was actually talking about the older one that used to stand right next to it. Yeah, I think that one was is the one I left off on. So, yeah, there's just a lot to unpack here. So, yeah, sorry for the video being an hour long. I tried to avoid that, but I guess I really couldn't. All right, so now then, since the last clip ended off with two very well-known towers in Rolla, we're going to begin this clip here with one less known tower in Rolla. It's just another little monopole. And here's something funny. So the funny thing is about this is that this water tower here, you see it has markers on it. Well, guess what? The water tower itself is smaller than the monopole. The markers are not shut off. They still work. And then the monopole here stands so much taller than the water tower, and yet it has no lighting. You know how cool it would be if this had some markers on top of it, or a dual strobe or something. That would be very, very nice to see. But you know, that didn't happen. And this is close to the hospital too. This is where helicopters drop off and stuff on the helicopter pad and all that. So yeah, if the marker on if the pair of markers on this water tower is needed, then I would imagine the taller of the two towers needing one as well. But nope, the monopole is markerless and beaconless. So yeah, it's very, very crappy. So yeah, other than that, the monopole is just there and all that. Like, this monopole had a missed opportunity when it came to the marker craft. Like, this would have been one of my favorite monopoles in Rolla because it would have markers or a beacon or something. But no, it doesn't. It just doesn't. So yeah, there's that. Really nothing else it's really nothing else much to talk about with this monopole. I don't know when it was built either, but if I had to guess, it was it was like somewhere in the early 2000s or something, or no, wait, maybe like the late 2000s, like 2006 or something. This tower was around, and it was around and stuff. There's old street view of it and all that. Like, you're able to see it and all that. So yeah, there's that. All right, so this next tower here, I'm just going to show you all so I don't forget it. So this here is usually, well, I remember I made a remake of all the towers in Rolla. It was a screen recorded version, and I thought I was safe and all that. I was just like, well, that's it. That's all. That's really all. And then why is Aiden made a comment on the video talking about how a tower's missing that he remembered being on the original video. And then I was just like, holy crap, I forgot that one tower. Oh, come on, man. I really hope I don't forget any tower here. I know that the monopole I just showed you all was a forgotten tower once in one of the Rolla tower videos. So yeah, this here, there's a tree blocking it and stuff, but this here is a small red and white tower, a red and white guide tower. It's markerless, along with it being beaconless too. So yeah, it has no lighting on it, unless if it has like markers on the top that are very, very, very well hidden. Or, well, you know how old markers are, they're small and stuff. If this tower has old markers, then it can be hard to find them because of the crappy street view and because of how the markers themselves would just be small. But there's another tower in Rolla that has dead markers and stuff, and they don't work anymore, but you're still able to see them on the tower. And the tower is a little taller too, so this is most likely completely, well, you know, it's most likely the case with this tower is that it has completely nothing on it. It would be so cool if this tower had a pair of markers on it. Like, we got a dog food factory somewhere down here on close to the highway. There's two markers on the building. One of them is new. Well, I'm not. What am I talking about? One of them is pretty bright, and the other one is pretty dim. But it has two markers on it, and they work and stuff. But this tower here, it doesn't, sadly. Oh, if you're wondering, the tower itself has one little antenna on it. Not too sure what type of antenna it is, but it looks like an antenna that you'll see on a little TV antenna tower that you'll usually find out in the country. Like if you see somebody's house and stuff, like they'll have a little TV antenna right next to them. Like that's the antenna that this little tower has. Yeah, there really is no good view of this tower. Okay, so we got a little trio of towers here. I don't know what to call this trio. Probably like middle highway trio, I guess, because this is like somewhere in the or I don't know. If I would, the Lowe's towers would actually be the middle highway towers. Middle I-44 towers, because around that point is where, where I-44 goes through Rolla and stuff. I guess that's when it gets to its halfway point and stuff, is right there. But yeah, but I don't think these are midpoint towers. No, they're pretty close to the edge there, which is the beginning or the end, whichever direction you're going, really. But we got this one tower here. If you guys don't remember what this tower's name is, it's the red and white guide tower. As boring as that sounds, that's the only name I'm able to come up with. I don't know any other name that I can come up with this tower. So, if you don't know, this tower has an FH08 that has a quick flash night mode, and there is no leftover markers on the tower to signal that the tower used to have an incandescent before. But I do believe that this tower had an incandescent before in its life, because the tower was built in 1987, I believe, or I don't remember. It's like somewhere in the 80s. But yeah, the tower is an 80s tower, so it most likely had an incandescent in the beginning of its life, because strobes were around in the 80s, but even though strobes were around in the 80s, they were rare to see, I guess. Like, they're only used for certain structures and stuff. Mostly towers that were built around that time would get old school incandescents, because that was the most common beacon back then. So I can see this tower having this tower's first ever beacon being a old school incandescent. I don't know. I'm still looking for markers on this tower, though. See if I can find any leftover markers. This here's the closest street view you're able to get to it, or able to get of it, and there is no leftover markers to be seen. Oh, and I forgot to say, this truss also looks pretty cool as well. So it's like little X's and stuff, and it's like a ladder as well. A ladder full of X's. So yeah, there is no leftover markers I'm able to spot. So yeah, but this tower must have had an incandescent back then. I want to believe that the tower always shined white all of its life, but a tower in the 80s getting a white only strobe, that's just something that only happens when a tower gets like a KG225 or some other single strobe and an incandescent, because that's basically the original day mode night mode system. So yeah, if this tower ever got a white only beacon back then, it would be for the strobe and incandescent setup, because the strobe and incandescent beacon setups, most of them require a white only strobe. So yeah. And then you got others like a few down here in Missouri that have dual strobes along with leftover incandescents that are just sitting there. So yeah, it's a weird version of the strobe and incandescent beacon setup. It's like a dual strobe and incandescent beacon setup, but technically it's still a strobe and incandescent beacon setup, even though the incandescents don't work. Yeah. So yeah. it's less like it's very unlikely that a tower only got a white only beacon just by itself, just a white only beacon only, and not an incandescent with it, because that's how the 80s worked, when it came to beacons. Like, the majority of towers back then had incandescents, because like I said, that was a most common beacon back then. So yeah, um, I like to believe that the strobe on this tower is an FH08. That's why I always believed my entire life. But I remember I made a video of the tower, and why is Aiden pointed out how its strobe kind of looked like a TWR single strobe. And after him saying that, I was just like, no, it's an FH08. It has to be. But I've been hiding the fact from myself that it must have been a TWR strobe. I don't want it to be a TWR strobe, because I always believed in my life that this tower's strobe was an FH08. That's why I always believed, and I don't want that just to be thrown out right when it's discovered that this tower actually has a TWR single strobe. I mean, that's going to suck, I don't want that to happen. I really don't. I really don't want this tower to have a TWR single strobe. This tower, I always known it for having an FH08. I don't want that to be ruined by a TWR single strobe. So yeah. So for some reason in no February of this year, sometime in February of this year, the single strobe on the tower completely died, and it's been like that ever since July. So yeah, I remember the day when I found out that the strobe wasn't working anymore. I was just like, well, I mean, I was not like, I don't know why I said that. I meant to say I just brush it off, because there was a big snow and ice storm that we had around like a 2 or 3, like a 1 or no, like a 2 or 3 day period around that time. We had some very heavy snow and some ice. So there was like a lot of ice that was forming on power lines everywhere in Rolla, and when I found out that it was when I found out that the strobe wasn't flashing when it was supposed to, I just brushed it off because of that. I was just like, the power to it was knocked out because of the ice. It's no big deal. They'll fix it tomorrow or something. And they never did. That big ice storm and stuff, like days after that happened, the strobe was still not working on the tower. So I was just like, what's going on? Why is it not working anymore? Like, seriously, man, it should be working right now. Why is it not working anymore? So yeah, it's been like that and stuff. I kept on waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting for it to start flashing again, but it never happened that entire time until July. I remember it was July 8th. It was the last day of summer school for me. Like, don't worry, I didn't have to like go into the school and do lessons and all that crap. I just had to drive around because of driver's ed and stuff. Yeah, they assigned me to drive with a group of 2 kids and a professor in July instead of June. Like, it would have been so nice if it was June instead of July, but that didn't happen. So yeah, it's pretty nice, I have to say. My summer was taken away. Well, I mean, the majority of my summer was taken away. That's the reason why it felt so short to me. Literally, like, this summer felt so short because of summer school. Summer school just took the entirety of June away, and the first 8 days of, or well, if you like um the first 6 days of July away from me, except for the weekend. Oh wait, no. It was only like 5 days actually, because I remember we had a 3 day weekend for 4th of July, and yeah, so it's like only 5 days of driving, but still 5 days. Like they took 5 days away from me. They took 5 days of July away from me. So yeah. But on the last day, I was hyped because I was just like, oh, finally I get to sleep in again. Finally, I get to enjoy my summer. So I was very happy about that. And we were getting ready to switch drivers and all of that. But we usually stop at a gas station for that. But we'll also have a bathroom break, and we'll also buy crap from the gas station too. So that's what we were doing. So we got done with all that stuff, and I remember I looked at this tower, and I was hoping that the beacon would start flashing soon. So I looked at it, and then we switched drivers, and I wasn't the driver who was assigned to drive right at that moment. Somebody else did. I was like the last one because I just wanted to sit around and not have to do mine first thing straight. So yeah. And then all of a sudden we come back around to that gas station area. I would look at the tower, and then all of a sudden the beacon started flashing right in front of my eyes. It just activated right there. I was just like, holy it works. It works again. And then the rest of that time, from the rest of the driving time, I was just so anxious to see it and film it and all that. Just like, holy crap, it works, it works, it works. I was so anxious to tell Discord and stuff, like, or maybe I did while waiting for my turn to drive. I don't know, but I was very, very excited. So yeah, it finally worked again. I remember me and Aiden came up with a theory. My theory was that it's FH308 was going to get replaced by an LED, and Aiden's theory was not as bad as the LED. Well, I mean, no, I mean it was even worse than the LED. He literally said it's going to die. I think it's going to die. They're going to take it down. Okay. Yeah, it was something. It was I really didn't believe it was going to be taken down. I just believed it was going to get an LED. So yeah, but we're both wrong, and I'm glad about that. So yeah. I made a video of this tower after that. Like, I made a video of it at day, and then at dusk, and then at night. There's also another clip of it at night that I made back in November 2020. It was supposed. I made the clip because I was already planning on making just a normal day mode, night mode video of the tower. So when I got the chance to film the tower close up at night mode, I completely took it, and I was just like, all right, time to film this tower quick. So yeah, apparently, I never filmed the tower at day mode that entire time. I had every chance to. I had like a few months to do it. So I had like the entirety of December and January to do that, and the first few days of February too, and I didn't take it for some reason. I think I wanted to film it close up like I did on night mode, but I felt a little scared to ask my parents about it because I didn't want them to have to drive me around to film these towers and stuff. I didn't want them to do that out of their own way. Well, that was like in their way and stuff. Like, I didn't want to do that. So I think that's the reason why I didn't film it at day at that time. Okay, second tower of the trio. We got a plain looking monopole. I don't know when this was built, but the majority of the monopoles in Rolla that were the majority of the monopoles in Rolla were built around 2006 and 7. So if I had to guess which year, it was probably 2006. So yeah, it's another cookie cutter monopole. It looks just like the one right down by Price Chopper and stuff. So yeah, um, there's that. So yeah, there's really nothing interesting about this tower. It's just there. So yeah, but it doesn't mean I don't like it. It is one of my least favorites, but I still acknowledge it. I still acknowledge it as a Rolla tower, and I'm glad that it's around and stuff. So yeah. Then yeah, now that we got the second one out, we're going to move on to the third one of the trio, the last member. This one here has this one's story is that this one story is kind of weird. It was built as a radio tower, then it was transformed into a cell tower that was only holding one little cell antenna on it, or maybe it was an internet tower. I don't know. And then it was transformed back into a radio tower. It looks like an FM tower now. It was probably always an FM tower. I have that feeling, but yeah, there's that. So this tower here stands on top of a college dorm building. So yeah, I remember my sister went to these dorms once, not because she had to go to college or anything, because she was like 12 or 13 at this time. So yeah, she wasn't even able to go to college because she was still in school. So yeah, um, so we for some reason she had to stay in night. She had to spend a night in one of these dorms for some reason. Not too sure why. I forgot, but it was some sort of program. So yeah, I remember. She also went with one of my friend's sisters. Like I have a friend that lives in St. James. He has a sister, and his sister is friends with my sister. So yeah, it's all nice and stuff. But she went too. So me and my man got to explore the place, and we also got to find out how small these tiny ass dorms are. They are so small, man. Like claustrophobic people would never survive in these. Like seriously, they are small as hell. And I think we were on this side. So yeah, like we explored in one of those dorm rooms on that side of the building, and the window was open, so I stuck my head out, and I got to see a great view of this tower. It was on the building and all that stuff, and I got to see its markers too. It was pretty nice. So yeah, yeah, I forgot to mention this is a red and white tower, and its red and white stripes are pretty small because they need to fit as much stripes in on a small tower as they can, so they shorten the stripes down. Like look at the stripes on this tower, like they're big, but these here are small. So yeah, so the building itself was built in the 60s, and the tower was also built in the 60s, so they're both built around the same time. So yeah, the tower has markers. It has some old markers on top of it. But sadly, though, well, not right. Let's not tell you right now. I'm going to tell you this. Like it has markers on it. They used to work, and yep, that's a spoiler. I should have just you guys already know this tower already, but this tower has markers, and they work perfectly and stuff. Like I remember I would see this tower at night, and yeah, I would just see it at night, and just like, oh wow, a red light. So yeah, it's something that was very memorable. Then I remember I seen I stopped paying attention to the tower for some reason, and I watched a video of some dude driving down at downtown Rolla, and you're able to see this tower from downtown Rolla, and he was driving down there at night. So yeah, so I got to see the tower in that video because its markers were lit up and stuff. I was just like, oh, it's at one tower again. I wonder if its markers still work. So yeah, I asked that. I was just like, do they still work? I don't know if they do or not. For some reason, I had a feeling they didn't work. So yeah, eventually I found out by seeing the tower at night one night. And I was just like, oh yeah, they don't work anymore. So yeah, that's the bad news. The markers are shut off. I don't know why they did that, because like helicopters come through here every day to the hospital. So yeah, if they say that the markers aren't needed anymore, then that's completely BS. Like, the markers are still needed because of helicopters that come through here and stuff. It's very, very stupid how they just shut the markers off. At least they're still on the tower, so you're able to view them and stuff. And yeah, you're able to view them and stuff, and the tower, and you are able to say that the tower still has its markers even though they don't work. So yeah, it sucks, man. It really does. I'm pretty sure there's a picture of the tower, like a little Google Maps night picture. Like, we're going, like, it's at the college, one of the college parking lots. If I can find it, but where is it at? Oh, there it is. All right, so this here is a little picture on Google Maps of the parking lot at night, and you're able to see all the towers around it with beacons on night mode. So that's the red and white guide tower. As you can see, it's on night mode. And where's the oh, there it is. So that's the markers of the newer 2011 Highway Patrol Tower. And you're also able to see that there is the first tall red and white tower of the two clones, or the clones. There's a few clones of this, but I consider this to be like the first, even though it's the original tower. It's weird, you know. The second, you're able to see a second Lowe's tower. You would have been able to see the first Lowe's tower if its beacon flashed at the perfect time that the picture was taken, and then bam, there's that one tower with the markers that doesn't work anymore. There it is and stuff. So yeah, that's proof that that the markers did work at one point. I can try to find that one video of that dude driving in downtown Rolla at night. Well, I wasn't able to find the video, but I did find this video. There's a new bridge that was built for the RTI college. No, wait, no, it was, what am I? Why is there an office chair right there? Like, look at that. I just spotted some random office chair there. Like, why the hell is there an office chair there? All right. So S&T bought a bridge, and they bought, yeah, they built a bridge and stuff, and they're building it in this video. As you can see, there's two cranes, and they both had markers. I wish I was able to see this at night. The bridge is complete, so you won't be able to see these anymore. I wish I was able to film them. That would have been cool to film. That would be cool to film them, because they have markers on them, and they're in Rolla too. That's not usually something you'll see in Rolla. So, like, here's the video, and you're able to see the Highway Patrol Tower in the background too. Okay, so it's time for some of the most well-known towers in Rolla, the two Lowe's towers, or you can call them the Lowe's Tower duel. but it used to be a trio, if you guys forgot. So we're going to start off with the first Lowe's tower because I consider it to be the first one of the 3 or 2 now. So this here is a half cell tower, half microwave tower or something. I don't know what those dishes are for, or at least most of them. 2 of them look like normal microwave dishes and stuff, but the rest actually look like they would be used for radios and crap. But so yeah, there's that. It used to have an FH08, and it had the the quick flash night mode, which I heard is pretty rare for. It's pretty rare for lattice towers, with FH08s because I don't know why. This must be some sort of FAA rule or guideline that the FAA made, but I guess lattice towers with FH08s are supposed to have the slow flash night mode, and then guide towers with FH08s are supposed to have the quick flash night mode. But this one here is a lattice tower with an FH08, and it has a quick flash night mode. Not too sure why it does, but it does. Or, I mean, it did, at least, when it still had it, and before the LED ruined it all. So, yeah, there's that. The weird thing about this is that on day mode, its FH08 would not flash every single second, like, how strobes, they flash like they flash every 1 second or something, or 1.25 second, I don't know, but that's just how they flash. Well, this one here would flash like that only 3 times, and then it will pause, and it'll flash like that 3 times again, and then it will pause, and then it'll flash again, it'll pause. It just did that multiple times. Not too sure why it did that, but I wish there was a video of the tower with a good camera that would catch every single strobe flash. Only if a video like that existed, that would have been nice. That would have been so nice. But it did that. Not too sure why it did that. Like, it was just randomly pause and stuff. It's literally like filming a strobe on a camera. Like, it'll flash like only a certain amount of times, and then it'll stop showing up on camera. And it'll show up on camera to flash a certain amount of times, and it'll stop. And it'll do that over and over again. Like, I had to deal with that with the second Lowe's tower and stuff while filming that day and night mode. Well, only on day mode, actually, because night modes are easy to catch on. Most of them are easy to catch on camera. That can't really catch strobe flashes, or not all of them at least. So, yeah, this used to have a weird FH08, It didn't have the proper night mode for a lattice tower with an FH08, and it had some weird day mode malfunction too. It's kind of weird. It didn't do that on night mode though. Night mode was completely normal. Not too sure why it only did it on day mode, but it just did. So yeah, so there's that. So yeah, and then somewhere in 2014, the FH08 was replaced with a white. It was replaced with a white only crappy LED. Its day mode and night mode are basically the same, except for the night mode being much dimmer than the day mode. The day mode's supposed to be medium intensity, and the night mode switches to low intensity. But to be honest, both day and night mode really they feel like low intensity. They feel like the day mode that you're barely able to see the beacon flash. Like, seriously, you're not able to see it on sunny days. You're only able to see it. The beacon only appears to be bright at day when it on an overcast day. Really, other than that, the beacon ain't really bright. It was very, very dim. It's like it's stuck on night mode for some reason, even though it's not stuck on night mode. I was in the Walmart parking lot when it was getting very, very dark, and I got to witness the LED going from high intensity, going from its quote unquote high intensity day mode to its medium intensity day mode to its low intensity night mode. So yeah, it's definitely not stuck on night mode. Its day mode is just pretty dim. It's just for some reason it is. It's just that for some reason. I'm not too sure why, but that's just how it is for some reason. So yeah, I'm pretty sure it improved though. I'm able to see it a little more every day. Some days, most days now. But other than that, you really aren't able to see it. So yeah. I also got me and my dad went to a gas station when it was getting very dark too. Like the sky, there wasn't much light really. Like it was getting pretty dark, and the LED was still on day mode. We got in the car and we were going to go back home. A tree was blocking a tower, but when the tree unblocked the tower, its LED was definitely on night mode. I definitely noticed a difference in brightness. Like I was just like, oh, it just went to night mode again. That's pretty cool. I got to see that again. So yeah, there's that. All right, now it's time for the second Lowe's Tower. I consider this to be the best out of all of them because it still has its strobe. This here's the all legendary second Lowe's Tower. Oh no. Not too sure if that's a scam or not, but it didn't have any of our names in it, so yeah, it's probably not for us, but they sent it to the wrong person or something. I'm not too sure. Yeah. So this here is the second Lowe's Tower. Oh, and I forgot to say, the first Lowe's Tower is Wise Aiden's favorite tower in Rolla. So yeah, it's fun. It's pretty cool to know. So this here still has its dual strobe, and the town. Oh, I forgot to mention the first Lowe's Tower was built in 1999. I mean 1990, I believe. That's what Antenna Search tells me. It tells me that the tower was built in 1990. And then Antenna Search also tells me that the second Lowe's Tower was built in 1999. So yeah, it's funny how this one was built in the first year of the 90s and this one was built in the last year of the 90s. It's pretty weird, but it's pretty cool too. So since dual strobes did not exist in 1999, so this here I like to believe that it had an FH306 as its very first beacon. I don't like to believe that it had a like some sort of white only strobe or something. Or it would, it would be so cool. It would be pretty cool to find out if this actually had a strobe and incandescent beacon set up as its first beacons and stuff. But that's very, very unlikely, for reasons like I'm pretty sure that crap started to stop, or that crap should have started stopping around 1999, I would believe. So yeah, this tower here, it was built in 1999, so it must have had an FH06. That's a very, very big possibility because dual strobes did not exist back in 1999. So yeah, all right. So the tower used to have three tall antennas on top of it, but they are removed. That's the only bad thing that happened to it. So yeah. All right, here's a history of malfunctions and stuff because uh, both the Lowe's towers had malfunctions and stuff. Like I told you, this one had its FH08 had a day mode malfunction for some reason, and this one here has it had malfunctions before too. So I think it's the first malfunction or the oldest malfunction, I'm pretty sure, is probably just the fact that the beacon just, well, I mean, the fact, I don't know, let's reword that. The oldest malfunction that I can really think of is the beacon shut off one time and it didn't flash the entire time. So yeah, that was something that can be very common and stuff like that's completely normal with things. So yeah, Um, so yeah, but it eventually got a cooler, much cooler malfunction though. A time period of either 1 or 2 days. It's not one day. It was like 2 days or three or something. I don't know. Um, because I remember this malfunction being around more than one day, really. I gotta be honest with you. It was around much longer. I don't know why I said like 1 to 2 days. So basically, the the day mode completely shut off. The day mode was not working, so the tower did not flash at day, but its night mode completely worked and stuff. So basically, it's it's FH it's FH 324 turned into a night mode only beacon for a short period of time. So yeah, it's funny how it didn't flash at day, but it went to night mode in its normal time, like every day. I like to believe that it went to night mode in its normal time. The beacon would just stand there, not flashing, and then all of a sudden, it would just go into night mode. It would just pop up and go in night mode. I That's why I like to believe. But maybe the beacon was stuck on night mode that entire time. I don't know. I don't remember seeing it on night mode. Like if it was stuck on night mode, there'd be like a very high chance I was actually able to see it flash. Even though it is pretty hard to see it's hard to see a dual strobe on night mode at day. So yeah, that's something. But I do know that there's a good chance I would be able to see it flashing at night mode on day, well, at day and stuff. So yeah, um but I didn't see it, most likely it acted normal most of the time. Like its day mode was completely shot for some reason, and then for some reason it would just go into night mode at its normal time and stuff. Like it would just sit there in the dark, and then all of a sudden it just pop up into night mode. So yeah, there's another one of its malfunctions. Um, um, there's a I'm pretty sure there might have been another malfunction, but I don't remember what it was. Um, so I'm just going to skip over to this tower's latest malfunction. So basically, in basically um, December 2019 through May 2020, I believe it was, the markers completely didn't want to work. They just didn't want to work at all. The beacon worked completely fine, but its markers were completely dead. I thought it was permanent at the time, so I missed it. I was just like, no, why? Why? It was. Wait a second. Was that did they really did they really start working back in May 2020, or was it a little older, like March or April? I don't know. I think I remember it being a little cold at the time when they started working again. So it was still around winter or something, I believe. So yeah, its markers didn't want to work for that entire period of time for some reason, but one day, um, I was at my friend's house at night, and you're able to get you're able to have a clean view of these two towers at day and night mode and stuff, because there's no trees blocking it and stuff. His house is kind of close to the towers too. His house is like somewhere farther down there. So you're able to see these towers clearly from there. And I seen the markers because the markers were not being blocked by any trees. So and I noticed how they were actually working again. I was just like, finally. I even made a video of it too. Um, I need to find it. I don't remember how. I don't remember when they started working. Oh, wait. I think I think it was actually August or something. You know, it was just a cold night for some reason. I think maybe I don't know. Everything seems to be changing. I don't know. I think I might for some reason every time I think about the date of the video of this tower, whether it's markers working again, I just keep on thinking about March. I mean August. So yeah, there's that. Um, so yeah, that's most of the malfunctions I know of. I believe there's another one, but I don't remember it right now. So yeah, maybe later on I'll remember it, but right now I just can't remember it. I want to make more videos of this tower at day and night mode, or just I want to make more videos of these towers on day and night mode in general, really. Maybe on Tuesday, because I'm able to do whatever I want on Tuesdays, because, well, when I get off of school, really, is what I meant to say. Um, so yeah, I have like 30 minutes after when school lets out and stuff. I have like 30 minutes to do whatever I want before my mom comes to the school to pick me and my sister up, because she gets off at like 3:30 and we get off at 3:10. Oh wait, no. Wait, that's 20 minutes actually. I don't know what I was talking about. That's 20 minutes, not 30. Or maybe it's like 25 or 26. I don't know. She doesn't really appear immediately right at 3:30, because that's when she gets off of work. So, yeah. I'll get to film the towers again, because that's what I can do. That's something I'm able to, I can make videos of these towers anytime I want when I'm like out in the city. It's very easy to. I can do that anytime I want. It's just the one of the easiest things to do down here. Unless if you're like on the other side of Rolla, then it's not very easy. But when you're in downtown Rolla or just somewhere in the downtown area, you got a good view of these towers. So I can film them at day, but filming them at night is more of a challenge. I got to wait for the perfect moments and stuff. So yeah. Um, the funny thing, I mean, not the funny thing. I meant to say, there's one thing I liked about these towers. I liked how well, or I liked how right now I like how one tower only has one white flashing light, while the other one has one red flashing white light at night, with a set of markers that also shine. That's also red. Oh wait. What did I just? Okay, I think I messed up. Okay, so basically, I like how I'm going to use the paint crap. So hold on a little bit while I get things prepared. So basically, I back then when I was smaller, back when the first Lowe's tower still had its FH08. I wasn't the biggest fan about this, but the way that the two towers worked and stuff, like one tower had one white light at day and night, and that's it. While the other one on night mode, it would have one. It would have. Oh man, that's not okay. It's not going to touch the beacon, I guess. That's fine, I guess. Um, so it'll have one red light there, but it also has like a few markers here. So it looked like it had two red lights and stuff. So it kind of looked uneven. It'll be, when I was little, I was just like, why is the tower that only shines white doesn't have white lights right at the spot where the other tower would have its red markers and crap. Like, yeah, for some reason, I really did ask the question, why do white only beacons never come with white markers? Red only beacons or white and red beacons come with markers and stuff all the time, every time. It was weird. So yeah. All right, time to talk about the third Lowe's tower. It's going to be the last one of this video. Yep, I'm going to make a part 3 because this is a very long video already. Like almost 2 hours long, I guess. So yeah, this is not old enough Street View. I didn't get the right one. Okay, that's still not good enough. This here is old Street View, so yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention the first Lowe's Tower used to have one antenna. You used to have another set of antennas on the very very top, but when its FH308 was replaced, that was, the antennas and the the FH308 and the antennas were all removed at the same time. I do know that. So there's the third Lowe's Tower. It's a monopole. So so yeah, there's that. Man, I really want to end this video so badly. My throat feels so dry from all this talking. So this tower is beaconless, and it was always beaconless its entire life. It's a monopole with three sets of three platforms on it. Though the top platform was the only one that had that had cell antennas and stuff. I bet this monopole is actually older than both of both of the other towers. I don't know. I just have that belief. Like, I guess I guess it's older than both. I don't know. That's why I'm starting to think because I remember there being a little bit of rust on the tower, a little bit. Maybe it was like just paint or something. I don't know. So it just stood around looking the same for my entire life, I guess. All the years it's been around, it looked the same and stuff when I was around and stuff. So yeah. And then it was just like that. No modifications, nothing changed on the tower throughout that time period before its death. So yeah, now it's time to talk about its death. I remember there's even street view of the tower being taken down. Can I find it? Can I find it? No. It was an overcast day, so we need to look for overcast street view. No, that's not it either. No, forget it. But there is street view of the third Lowe's Tower being taken down by a crane, piece by piece. You were also able to see like the very top of the tower on the concrete too. So yeah, there's that. So I remember me and my sister were picked up from school somewhere around 2007. Well, it was in 2017 and stuff. It was just a normal school day. We got picked up. It was January 2. So yeah, we were picked up and we went to Steak and Shake, which is behind that Big O Tires shop. I remember we went there because of happy hour, and I remember I seen the big crane taking down the third Lowe's Tower piece by piece, and I was pretty pissed that the tower was no longer going to be around and stuff. I was just like, oh, why are they taking it down? No, stop, no, why do this? I was not happy, so yeah, I was pretty pissed off. Um, so yeah, we got the drinks and crap, and I was like pretty mad and stuff because one of my favorite towers was being taken down, and I'll never be able to see it again. So yeah, it was not a good time, really. I'm pretty sure for some reason I keep on thinking that around that same day when we got the drinks and stuff, and I found out about the third Lowe's Tower's death and stuff, was the same day when my cat, one of my old cats, decided to try to cross we were in the driveway, and we were pulling into the garage, and my one of my old cats, which we used to have like two, like before the cat that we have now, we used to have two cats. One was inside, the other was an outside cat. So the outside cat would usually run across. She would usually cross the driveway when we would be pulling in. So it was very dangerous for her. We were just like, why you keep on doing that, cat? Why you keep on doing that? So yeah, like, Gabby, stop that. You can get ran over or something. We don't want you to get ran over, Gabby. Like, stop crossing it, please. So yeah, but she kept on doing it and stuff. And this time there was chalk on the driveway, and she slipped on the chalk, causing her to slip a little bit and slow her down. And the car was going pretty fast, and we weren't able to stop in time because she would just race down. She would race and completely. She would just try to cross as the fastest she could, and she got her leg ran over. We ran her over completely, like we ran over her body or something. That's what we thought. I was very scared to get out of the car and find out the truth. But we got out of the car and she was nowhere to be found. Eventually we found her in our side yard though, and she was in pain and stuff because we only ran over her leg. Yeah, we ran over her leg, like the leg that slipped on the chalk. We believe was the one that got ran over, and it was not a good time because right after that happened, she died like a few days later after suffering a few days in the backyard because her broken leg. We couldn't really do anything. We couldn't do anything for her really. She was an old cat and stuff. So I think I don't know if the vet would allow anything. But I don't know if the vet could do anything. Like they're, I think they were. I would imagine us do. We would have definitely done something to. We would have taken our cat or any pet to the vet if they got injured or something. But this time we didn't. I'm pretty sure. Maybe it's because the vet denied it because she was an old cat, and if they did anything, like like it was like they're scared of her age, but they're scared of doing anything to her in her current age. So I think that might have been a reason why. But she eventually died then, like 3 or 4 days after her leg got ran over. So yeah, overall, it was a horrible time. All right, well, this is the end of part two. I was never planning on making this a part three series, but I guess I have to because this is like almost eight. This is almost 2 hours long. So yeah, there's that. I apologize for the long ass video, but yeah, there's that. Bye.